What would you do if you discovered that the most important choices in your life were already made before you were born? From your career to your dreams, it all seems to be in your hands. But what if that's just an illusion? This question might feel uncomfortable, but it's the first step towards seeing the world in a completely different way. We grow up hearing that success is the result of smart choices. Study hard, work harder, and follow the right path. But who defines what's right? Schools shape our skills to fit into predefined careers. Advertisements convince us that we need to consume to be happy. Whose script are we following? And more importantly, why do we follow it without question? The human brain is wired to seek comfort and safety. This instinct stems from millions of years of evolution, where survival was the priority. Today, this same instinct drives us to accept what's presented to us, rarely questioning if we're living authentically. It's easier to go with the flow than to face the discomfort of swimming against the current. Yet, there's a paradox. The same instinct that keeps us in comfort also creates a sense of emptiness. That emptiness is the feeling that something is missing, even when we have everything. And here is where the journey begins. What is this emptiness that so many feel? Is it a flaw in the system, or is it a sign that we're ready for something more? The answer to this question is liberating, but also frightening. To find it, you must leave what is familiar behind. The good news? There is a way out, and it doesn't require you to be special or privileged. It starts with the awareness that you are trapped in a system far bigger than you imagined. Think about the last big decision you made in life. Did you make it out of genuine desire, or were you simply following a predetermined path? From a young age, we're guided by a system that offers limited options, but makes them appear infinite. Schools, for example, train us to become good workers, not creative thinkers. We're conditioned to believe we have choices, when in reality, most of them are shaped by societal norms. Advertising is one of the most powerful tools of this system. Studies show that the human brain can be influenced in less than 2 seconds by a visual message. Major brands don't just sell products. They sell dreams, identities, and lifestyles. When you buy something, are you really choosing? Or are you reacting to a desire you didn't know you had? That's the power of marketing, giving us the illusion of control. Society also pushes us onto rigid tracks of behavior. Success means earning a degree, getting a stable job, and starting a family. Straying from this path is often seen as failure or irresponsibility. But here's the question we rarely ask. Who decided these rules? Do they truly serve us? Often we follow these patterns because the unknown seems scarier than a safe but unfulfilling life. Fear plays a central role in this process. Uncertainty challenges our survival instincts, making us cling to the familiar. That's why so many people stay in jobs or relationships they don't love. Not because they lack alternatives, but because they fear what lies beyond their comfort zones. But what is this comfort zone, really? Is it truly comfortable? Or is it just familiar? When we start to see that what feels like a choice is often the result of years of conditioning, we take the first step toward freedom. And that step isn't easy, because it means confronting the deepest illusions about who we believe we are. If the system is so well designed to keep us in control, why do so many people still feel that something is wrong? The truth is that this prison is invisible, but its bars are everywhere. They show up in social inequalities, limited access to opportunities, and the belief that success is reserved for a select few. The system creates barriers that make us think our limitations are natural, when in fact, they are imposed. A clear example of this is social mobility. Studies from the OECD reveal that in many countries, up to 80% of a child's financial future is determined by their parents' income. In other words, the place where you are born largely dictates your destiny. The system wasn't built to help everyone rise. It was designed to maintain the status quo. Those at the top have a vested interest in keeping things as they are. Beyond economic barriers, the system uses fear as a powerful tool to keep us in line. The fear of failure, judgment, or even rejection by society pushes most people toward safe paths. These paths, however, rarely lead to personal fulfillment. We choose predictability, even if it means accepting a life that doesn't truly satisfy us. Why do we do this? Existentialism offers an answer. Philosophers like Kierkegaard and Sartre argued that the fear of freedom is as strong as the desire for it. When we are free, we must confront the responsibility of creating meaning in our lives. For many, this is so terrifying that they prefer the comfort of predefined rules, even if those rules limit their happiness. Yet, there are moments when the bars of the prison become visible. This is the emptiness we feel when, despite meeting every societal expectation, we still ask ourselves, is this all there is? Recognizing this emptiness is uncomfortable, but it's also the first sign that something needs to change. True freedom begins when we see the system for what it truly is, a construct, not an absolute truth. Identifying the limitations of the system is just the beginning. True transformation happens when we awaken the rebel within, the part of us that refuses to live by imposed rules. But how do we recognize it? It starts with examining the lies we've accepted as truths. Concepts like success, happiness, and purpose are often defined by the system to keep us aligned. But how often do we stop to question them? Imagine a young man who chooses medicine because it's a respected career. He follows the plan, graduates, works tirelessly, and by 40, realizes he never truly wanted to be a doctor. He lived a life designed to please others, not himself. This story is common. It's the result of societal expectations suffocating authentic desires. The rebel within emerges when we ask, what do I really want? Awakening this part of ourselves requires courage. Challenging the system often means facing criticism or rejection. But the alternative is worse. Living a life shaped by fear and conformity. To nurture the rebel within, we must dismantle limiting beliefs. Like the idea that success has only one definition. Once we understand that success is subjective, we can start building a path that's uniquely ours. There's a liberating power in realizing that the universe hasn't given us a predetermined purpose. As optimistic nihilism suggests, the absence of inherent meaning in life isn't a source of despair. It's an opportunity to create our own. This idea challenges the system because it gives us total control. We're free to decide what matters and, more importantly, to live by our own values. Stories of people who have defied the system prove this path is possible. Think of artists, entrepreneurs, and innovators who broke rules and found happiness in their passions. They weren't extraordinary. They simply chose to listen to their inner rebel. And that rebel exists in you too, waiting for the chance to breathe. Freedom is often misunderstood. Many believe it's about doing whatever you want, but true freedom runs deeper. It's about living according to your own values without being a prisoner to others' expectations. To achieve this, the first step is to define what freedom means to you. This definition is personal because each person's dreams and desires are unique, even though the system tries to homogenize them. Neuroscience provides fascinating insights into freedom. Studies reveal that when we feel in control of our decisions, our brain releases dopamine, the reward hormone. This means the feeling of freedom isn't just in the end result. It's in the act of consciously choosing. However, the system often offers pre-packaged options, reducing that reward and leaving us feeling trapped. Uncertainty, often seen as something to avoid, is actually an ally of freedom. When we embrace the unknown, we open ourselves to new experiences and opportunities the system cannot predict. Science supports this. Studies show that people who accept uncertainty have greater emotional resilience and are more likely to find long-term happiness. But why do so many resist this path? Fear is often the answer, not of failure itself, but of the emptiness that may come with breaking free from the system. Here, optimistic nihilism offers a powerful perspective. If life lacks inherent meaning, we're free to create our own. It doesn't matter if it aligns with societal standards, as long as it aligns with our truth. Living freely, therefore, is an act of courage and creativity. It requires honesty about what we truly want and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves us. Freedom isn't a fixed destination, but a continuous process of choice and self-discovery. The best part? It's within everyone's reach. Breaking free from the system might sound abstract, but it's entirely achievable when broken into actionable steps. It all starts with your mindset. The way you perceive the world directly shapes how you navigate it. Reframing beliefs is essential. Instead of thinking, "I can't," start asking, "How can I?" This simple shift creates room for possibilities and dismantles the limitations imposed by the system. The next step is to invest in yourself. In today's world, skills are more valuable than degrees. Developing competencies like communication, critical thinking, and adaptability can open doors the traditional system ignores. According to the World Economic Forum, demand for human-centered skills such as creativity and problem-solving is rapidly increasing, while routine jobs are being replaced by automation. This shift shows that the future belongs to those willing to learn and adapt. Building a support network is equally important. Breaking free doesn't mean doing it alone. Finding like-minded individuals who share your values and aspirations can provide inspiration, emotional support, and even practical opportunities. Online forums, local meetups, and specialized communities are excellent starting points. When surrounded by people who believe in change, the impossible starts to feel achievable. Small actions can lead to big results. Start by reducing the consumption of content that reinforces limiting beliefs, and dedicate time to learning something new. Every small step you take outside your comfort zone strengthens your confidence and builds a path aligned with your values. Change isn't a single event. It's a series of consistent choices. Finally, remember that this journey is personal. Some may break free by quitting traditional jobs, while others find freedom by adjusting their lifestyle. The key is to take control of your narrative. This decision to steer your own story is the foundation of living authentically and building a life that feels genuinely yours. Breaking free from the system is an act of courage, but the rewards are immense. Imagine waking up every day, knowing your choices align with who you truly are. People who have taken this path report greater satisfaction and authenticity in their lives. A Harvard study found that happiness is more closely tied to living in harmony with one's values than to achieving wealth or status. Stories of those who've left traditional paths serve as powerful inspiration. Think about individuals who abandoned conventional careers to follow their passions. Artists, entrepreneurs, and travelers often defy societal norms and discover success in ways they never imagined. Their journeys show that you don't have to be extraordinary to step outside the system. You simply need the courage to try. Living outside the system also brings profound psychological benefits. Studies in positive psychology reveal that individuals who feel in control of their choices have higher levels of well-being and resilience. Additionally, stepping away from the constant comparison promoted by societal norms allows for a more grounded and authentic sense of self-esteem. However, living outside the system doesn't mean rejecting society entirely. It means redefining your role within it. Many who break free find new ways to contribute, whether by creating businesses with a human touch, supporting local communities, or innovating in overlooked areas. This demonstrates that breaking free isn't selfish. It's a move toward creating genuine positive impact. Perhaps the greatest benefit of all is realizing that freedom isn't something you achieve and keep forever. It's a daily practice. Living outside the system means constantly learning, evolving, and fine-tuning your path. And in this process, true freedom emerges, a state of continuous creation where you are the author of your own story. We've reached the most important point. Freedom isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create. The system wants you to believe you have no real options. But the truth is that every day brings a new chance to choose. These choices don't need to be monumental. Even small decisions like questioning a habit or exploring a new idea can set the stage for profound change. Remember the question we asked at the beginning. What would you do if you discovered that the most important choices in your life were already made before you were born? The answer is empowering. You choose to remake those decisions. It's about taking control and reshaping your life to reflect your values, not the values imposed on you. Change doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. Each small action, learning a new skill, investing in your passions, or challenging a limiting belief, builds toward a future more aligned with your authentic self. This process requires patience, but the rewards are life-changing. A sense of purpose and fulfillment that the system can't provide. As challenging as it may seem, freedom is worth it, and it doesn't have to be a leap into the unknown. You're not alone on this journey. Stories, tools, and communities exist to support you. Most importantly, you have within you the unique capacity to transform your life. That's the beauty of freedom. It starts with a choice and grows through daily commitment to living as you were meant to. We close with a message of hope. The system may be strong, but the power of choice is stronger. Every day is an opportunity to redefine your narrative, to challenge the status quo, and to create a life that feels truly yours. So, what will you choose today?